Hi, can someone help me with a diet question while I've been on the Qenda, please? I'm vegetarian and I'm currently eating very healthy. I eat vegetables, fruit, and drink fresh juices and smoothies. I'm allowed to eat pumpkin, some. Am I allowed to eat pumpkin and sunflower seeds? What about cashews, almonds, tahini, pine nuts? And lastly, can I still consume dehydrated foods like crackers, dried fruit, sun-dried tomatoes? It, all this on Qenda for good results. Thank you. Um, yeah, so basically, when you're having Qenda can work whatever diet you're on, but obviously, if you optimize your diet, that can really help. So the main things I do recommend to people is cutting out vegetable oils, like the refined vegetable oils. Obviously, you can have extra virgin olive oil, like cold pressed avocado oils, quite good as well. But it's just cutting out the stuff like the canola oil and the sunflower oil and all that garbage that's refined, because that can be quite inflammatory to the body. Cutting out them sugars and cutting out like most people do well on a gluten-free diet. Some people, like 50% of people, can tolerate gluten, and then what I've found is like the other 50% just really can't. Or even if they're not full on celiac, like they will feel worse when they have gluten. So you've said on there, like most of the stuff you've listed there is fine, obviously. Vegetables, pump, and like seeds. If you can tolerate nuts and seeds, that's absolutely fine. Have nuts and seeds. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is like peanuts. Peanuts isn't. It's not actually a nut. I think it's more of a legume, but there are some studies on peanuts really not been too good for people. But see how you feel with them. But nuts, seeds, and if you can tolerate nuts and seeds, that's great. If you want to go above and beyond, you can soak them in salt water and activate them. As a vegetarian, you're probably well aware of that. All nuts, seeds, and grains, they have defense chemicals in them. So by soaking them in salt water, you can take away that like phytic acid and stuff that actually stops digestion, because plant seeds and grains are all meant to go through the digestive system of animals undigested. So they come out with the poo, so they're fertilized with the poo, and then they can do their job and still be a seed and make a tree or whatever. So if you want to go above and beyond, you can soak your seeds and nuts in salt water. You can do that for like 24 hours, rinse them, dehydrate them, and then they're called activated. So it's got rid of all the phytic acid and stuff. But yeah, if you tolerate nuts and seeds, that's fine. Generally, we just say stick to whole foods, stick to real foods, not foods that have lots of ingredients. Yeah, and then you said foods like crackers. It depends on what type of cracker. Obviously, if it's made from like whole food ingredients, but if, like I said, with the gluten side of things, if it is something containing gluten, I prefer to say have organic forms of gluten. Obviously, if you tolerate that, fine, that's fine. But yeah, if we're talking about crackers and stuff like that that are full of like non-organic wheat, they're going to have glyphosate in them. So sorry, there's just a plane landing. I'll let that land. Yeah, non-organic forms of wheat can have glyphosate in it. So then when you're having crackers, it can be fortified with minerals and stuff like that. So yeah, when you're on yeah, it depends what your crackers are made of. Basically, stick to whole food ingredients. Obviously, you're a vegetarian, so you're not going to be eating pig or sushi, which can be great sources of parasites. And obviously make sure you're getting enough protein for your needs to help with healing. Um, yeah. So the only thing on that list I'd really say is like crackers. Just see what they're made out of. Make sure they don't have any veg oil in. If they've got non-organic wheat in, they're probably going to be a bit hard on the digestive system. But as you're having Qenda, that should be fine. When it comes to like dried fruit, you got to be careful. They can cause like constipation and stuff like that. So you want to, with dried fruits, you don't really want to be having too much dried fruit, especially this time of year. Seasonally, fruits aren't They don't need to be dried. You can have them with water in, get the hydration from it as well. So yeah, hopefully that helps.